fire. Aim, fire. Aim, fire. Forward, point.
God bless America. Land that I love. Stand beside her. Stand
U.S. Representative David Jolly was elected to represent Florida's 13th Congressional District during a special election, as you know, to finish the term of the late Congressman C.W. Bill Young in the 113th Congress. He is a member of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs. Congressman Jolly began working for Florida's 10th Congress District in the U.S. House of Representatives back in 1995, serving important roles in a variety of legislative, legal, and community positions. An attorney by training, his work in federal issues included matters related to the federal budget and appropriations process, constitutional law, Medicare and Social Security, defense and foreign affairs, immigration and securities law and regulation. Please join me now in welcoming Congressman David Jolly.
Thank you, folks. Holly, thank you very much. I had to get my marching orders from Maurice here a moment because I want to recognize a very special group here today. There are Boy Scouts and Scout leaders here today that are helping us with water and staying cool, but they did something very special this past Saturday, and they do it each year. If you look out at the cemetery behind this platform, you will see nearly 40,000 American flags that were placed in 45 minutes on Saturday morning by our Boy Scouts. Let's say thank you to them for that. And I would say they were joined as well by several Girl Scout troops as well, so thank you very much. Memorial Day is unlike many other days in which we honor veterans and all those who have served. Memorial Day is a day where we gather to remember the fallen. What is said today, to remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. It's appropriate that we do that. And each one of us are here today because of a conviction that we each have to honor those who have served and have gone before us to protect our freedom. And in recognizing the freedom that's been protected, it's important that we remember not just the lives that were lost, but the purpose for which they lived their life, their mission here on earth. These United States of America were founded on a radical notion, never considered on the world stage before our nation came to being. The radical notion that we are a free people, that are granted a human freedom by our loving Creator. And in return, we determine self-government. We determine what government to create and what authority to give our government. It is a precious freedom that we hold here dear in the United States of America, but not every country around the world holds it true today, and certainly at the time of our founders, it was not a common principle. It's a radical notion of freedom that those who we honor here today fought to protect and to defend, and in some cases introduced that radical notion to people across the globe that were living under tyranny. The special thing about this is we defend this freedom through the service of our own, through men and women right here in our community and in communities across the country. All of the conflicts have involved people who have put on the uniform from right here at home, Pinellas County, the Tampa Bay area, Clearwater, Largo, Seminole, Pinellas Park, St. Petersburg, Dunedin, Oldsmar, Tarpon. We have people from within our own community, our brothers and sisters, who have served. And on Memorial Day, I often reflect on those who lost their life in service to this country and recognize that they must have each had two very special personal moments. The first moment is one that many of you here today experienced yourself. That moment where you heeded the call to serve, where you stepped forward in service to our nation, to protect your fellow man, to serve your fellow man, to serve your community, and to serve your country. You donned the uniform. In some cases, you defended our homeland, and in some cases, you protected us here at home by fighting a battle overseas. It was a very personal moment for you at the point at which you decided you were going to serve. Those who we honor here today also had that moment. But those who we honor here today also had a second very personal moment. That moment where they realized that their service to our nation, their service to each and every one of us, was coming to end while still in uniform. That their service would come to end by a giving of their own breath, a sacrificing of their own dreams, a foregoing of their own loves, and ultimately a giving of their own life for each and every one of us. And that is why Memorial Day stands apart from every other day of the year, and why we pause at ceremonies like this here today and those around the country to reflect on and remember and honor each of those who did lay down their life in defense of our nation. For much of history, the images of Memorial Day reflected on those who served in the Great War, or Great Wars. But we also know that many lost their lives in Korea and Vietnam, in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And while we talk about the greatest generation, it is with a broken heart that today we also have to reflect on the fact that we honor today in 2014 on Memorial Day some who were born as late as the 1990s, the youngest among us, who experienced the personal moment of donning the uniform, but also the personal moment of the ultimate sacrifice. It is our brothers and sisters, our family members, those in our community that have served and sacrificed. President Garfield referred to those who laid down their life by saying this: "For love of country, they accepted death, and thus resolved all doubts, making immortal their patriotism and their virtue." There is no greater patriotism than the person who puts on the uniform and lays down their life for their brother. There is no no higher form of patriotism, no higher form of courage. It is a special courage. It is a moral courage. It is a personal medal that is the gift that each one of those have given to us. I often reflect in elective politics, the moment you get elected, you are given the title, the Honorable. It shouldn't be so. Simply winning an election does nothing to earn somebody the title of Honorable. We as a nation need to recognize that that title of Honorable is most deserving to each and every one of you who put on the uniform, and ultimately today, to those who we honor, who sacrifice their life for us. Those are the honorable among us. The book of John states so perfectly that there is no greater love that one may have than to lay down their life for their fellow man. May the loving God who inspired those words in the book of John richly bless and hold close the souls of those who sacrifice their lives for us. May our loving God richly bless the families that have been left behind in grief. May our loving God give each one of them a peace that passes all understanding and a strength that man may never know. And may God richly bless this community of Pinellas County and Tampa Bay, and may God richly bless the greatest nation that this world has ever known, these United States of America. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Congressman.